Tune in to the Feel Good Friday with Bibi Amina Phili.
It's finally Friday again. Assalamu alaikum.
From South Africa to the world.
Let's go.
Don't miss out on Friday afternoon vibes like no other. Put it on and leave it on. Join us for inspiration and positivity from trailblazing guests to topics you want to hear. Your Friday just got better. Let's make the end of the week better together. Feel Good Friday with Bibi Amina Phili, young, fresh and trending.
زينت السماء وضعت الجبال أمرت البحار وخلقت الجنات سيرت الكواكب أضأت النجوم فجرت الأنهار فأرحت القلوب وللعباد أنزلت الإسلام وللهداية أنزلت القرآن وبالسلام.
It's gone by exactly a few minutes past the hour of 2 o'clock, and ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban bikum. It's finally Friday again, so assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Of course, it is Bibi Amina Phili here. You know, I always say that I love my Friday afternoons because I get to spend it with you. Jummah Mubarak to you and yours. What an exhilarating start to your weekend. Of course, it's 90.4 FM in Durban and 105.6 FM in Pietermaritzburg. I can't stress more. If you do not have the app by now, you are missing out on all of the good stuff. And of course, you are watching us live on YouTube, Facebook, as well as our Instagram. And if you missed out on any episodes that, of course, you would love to enjoy, you can catch us on Spotify. But of course, what can you expect for the show, the Feel Good Friday show today? Today, we chat to project manager at Hajj on Horseback, Abdelkader Harkassi, all the way from Spain, as he and his team travel from Spain to Saudi Arabia on horseback. You know, like how they used to do it before? Exactly that. Of course, so you can stay tuned and you can join us on our platforms to get the full experience, because we're going to be showing you some visuals as to exactly exclusive footage as to exactly how their journey is going so far. And a little bit later on, we will be chatting to Sister Nazreen, who will be sharing her story on her resilience and self-discovery. Right here on Radio Al Ansar, it's 90.4 FM in Durban and 105.6 FM. All that and more right here for your listening pleasure.
This is the Feel Good Friday with Bibi Amina Phili, only on your number one radio station.
Absolutely. And since the clock strikes, it's now about that time for your traffic update.
Feel Good Friday. Traffic updates. Updates that help you plan your day like a boss.
And on the line, we have Opera Sengwane. Opera Sengwane, tell us what's happening on our roads.
Feel Good Friday. We're looking at Victoria Embankment, now known as Margaret Mkati. We've got an accident there going towards Moore Road. There is an accident that is taking place there. And we've got another accident entry westbound before Cliffdale. You going towards Pietermaritzburg, we've got that, expect delays there. Entry eastbound Ashburton, we see a slow-moving traffic coming towards Durban, so will you please be patient in that. Some lanes are closed due to South Africa and India cricket game that will be taking place there in Kingsmead, so you must expect delays around there. M4 southbound Edin Swales, we've got a truck that is broken down that is causing a lot of traffic. Please be patient with that. Hopefully it will be sorted soon. And also, let us not forget N2 southbound by Joyner Road. That bridge collapsed. Please use alternative routes like Prospecting, Joyner Road. inside Wilcox. The bridge will be closed almost a month or a little bit more than a month. So that bridge will be closed. So please use alternative routes in that area. Also, when you go into King Shaka Airport, M65, you're driving N2, then you're taking M65, that will take you straight to airport. The lanes there has been reduced to one because they are busy working in that area. Also take note, we've got an ongoing roadworks around Durban, let me put it that way, because N2, N3, M7, M13, most of the roads are being under construction. We are appealing to the drivers, make sure you use those boards, information boards that are there to assist us. Other than that, have a lovely weekend. Enjoy till next week. I'm Warrant Officer Ngwane from Durban Metro Police. Enjoy.
Good Friday. Updates. Updates that help you plan your day like a boss.
Want to tantalize those taste buds? Halton's has you covered. From freshly baked treats to imported confectionery that brings international flavors right to your door. Indulge in our daily food menu, home industry goodies, and those household brands that you love, now with global twists. Visit Halton's at 358 Brickfield Road, open till 9 p.m. daily, or call us at 031-207-6108. Halton's, where every bite is a delight.
Sunnah a Day, proudly brought to you by Sunpick. 100% pure sunflower cooking oil. Sunpick, cook more with less.
मेरे नबी प्यारे नबी सुन्नत तेरी दुनिया दी.
Sunnah a day. It is sunnah to alert those at home of one's arrival by knocking at the door or by one's footsteps or by ringing the bell.
Sunnah a Day, proudly brought to you by Sunpick. 100% pure sunflower cooking oil. Sunpick, cook more with less.
Imagine this. You're putting together a 7-color meal, from the creamy pasta to the glazed carrots and flavorful onion gravy. This entire meal is made with our 100% pure extra virgin olive oil from our La Familia range, bringing outstanding quality and taste to your kitchen. Shop La Familia 100% pure extra virgin olive oil at any leading supermarkets near you. La Familia, heart of the home.
This is the Feel Good Friday with Bibi Amina Phili, only on your #1 radio station. Of the day.
The Shahada, the Salah, the Zakat, the fasting, the Hajj. The Shahada, the Salah, the Zakat, the fasting, the Hajj.
And of course, it is 90.4 FM in Durban and 105.6 FM in Pietermaritzburg. Now, of course, today we venture into the heart of resilience and determination, joined by Abdelkader Harkassi, the project manager behind the extraordinary Hajj on horseback. Now, this journey from Spain to Saudi Arabia. Now, this arduous trek is more than just a physical feat. It's a testament to the human spirit, capacity of growth, adaptation, as well as transformation. But of course, as we delve into the story, we'll explore the intricate web of motivation, challenges, and the epiphanies that have shaped their path. From the intense preparations to the camaraderie to profound spiritual and emotional relations, we'll examine the multifaceted nature of this journey. Of course, joining me on the line to the Feel Good Friday, I think for the very first time, is Abdelkader Harkassi. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Bibi Amina Phili, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, Jazakallah so much. I know that you guys are en route and you're on the way, so we're going to make this really quick, inshallah, for our listeners. But let's get straight into it. Now, what inspired you to embark on this remarkable journey to Hajj on horseback from Spain to Saudi Arabia?
Well, I think it's perhaps a very common dream, that of doing a long trip to to Hajj. I think people must have thought about it, either with motorbikes or cycling or on a car. Is something that I guess all young people would have thought at some point of their lives. And the idea is not mine. The idea is that of Dr. Abdullah Hernandez, who I worked with translating a manuscript from Arabic to English. And at the end of the project, he said to me, well, I've had a dream for the last 30 years, that of going to Hajj on horseback. Would you come with me? And after having translated this arduous manuscript, I knew I could work with him, and I said absolutely. So yeah, that's the beginning of the journey.
Absolutely. Sounds like such an inspirational journey and the big story behind it, alhamdulillah. But how did you physically prepare yourself, mentally as well as spiritually for this challenge?
So the preparation started about 4 years ago when we decided to embark on the journey, and we decided also to start training. So we did 4 training, long distance riding. The shortest I think was about 500 kilometers over the course of 3-4 weeks or so. Testing, and that was testing us as riders, whether we would like to do it, can we do it? Testing the horses, testing the material, the team. So that was the most physical part of it, but also the mental part was developed through the hardships of the training. You can imagine about 5-6 men traveling across the country on horses, facing all types of weather and conditions, hunger, thirst, cold, heat. So I think that actually polished our mind for it.
Absolutely. Now, I know that on this journey, there's so many things that are going on, like you mentioned, the challenges, but can you share some of the, memorable moments or experiences you've had along the way?
I wanted to mention a very beautiful story. It was about maybe 10 days ago when we had a very difficult day. It was raining on us. We were crossing one of the mountains here in Spain, and we couldn't reach our destination for the day. So we decided to stay a bit behind in a village, and we found a church with very appetizing grass for the horses. So we said, okay, well, we'll camp here. We'll stay here. It was a small village, perhaps 40 inhabitants or so, and a big church and a big green in front of it. So we went there, and we wanted to. Initially, we thought we shouldn't say we were Muslims. I mean, you probably know about the history of Islam in Spain and all the hatred that came after the Inquisition and stuff. So we thought, look, we don't have anywhere else to go. Let's just say we're pilgrims. There's a very famous route that goes through here to Santiago, the Christians do. We just said we were pilgrims. We weren't lying, but we were in a way hiding a bit of the truth. So we got the horses there, and there was no one around, so we prayed Dhuhr and Asr. And about the time of Maghrib, a lady came with her boy to just check the horses. So we decided to stop the prayer, not to stop the prayer, but to delay the prayer a few minutes so we could address the lady and just tell her that we're passing by, we travelers, we're not planning to leave in the church that night. So we did that, and then she left. We prayed Maghrib, kind of hiding behind the horse box, and we set the tent. And as we were doing that, a man's voice came and said to us, "Good afternoon," and we definitely knew that was it. Someone was coming to kick us out. But it was this young man who came and saw us and said, "Are you planning to stay the night here?" And we said, "Yes, but look, just one night. We will be gone in the morning. And sorry, we couldn't ask anyone. We just passing by." And he said, "No, you can't stay here. I'm very sorry, you can't stay here. I actually have a hostel with 3 empty rooms. and there's a storm tonight, so please come. You don't have to pay me anything. I saw you praying earlier, and I didn't want to disturb you, but now that you guys are here, please come. And it was such a blessing from Allah that He sent us this young man to give us some refuge. That night was very, very heavy on rain, and we have a tent. It would have been okay, but it would have been terrible on the sound of the noise on the tent. So yeah, that was a beautiful element of the trip.
Alhamdulillah. Sounds, when you hear these stories, it sounds almost like a fairy tale. Like, we feel like we want to join you guys on this trip. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take you, safely as well. Alhamdulillah. For those of you that are listening to us live and watching us, you can definitely check the live visuals happening right now so you don't miss out on all the behind the scenes as well. But brother Abdelkader, how do you find the camaraderie and support of your fellow travelers or the locals during your journey?
So a very important element of this trip is that we have an Amir, and that is following the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, where he said there shouldn't be any three of you that travel without appointing an Amir. An Amir is fundamental for this type of journeys. Is basically an expedition, something that hasn't happened in about 500 years, and we all have our egos, we all have our way of doing things, and we need to be unified under one person. So we have an Emir with us that dictates the route, and he also supports us and helps us with everything we do, and that is Dr. Abdullah Hernandez. And because of that unity, there's no disunion, there's no separation, or you can, in a journey like this with a lot of difficulties and everything is against us. So that following that piece of the Sunnah, which is fundamental, has made our journey so far very, very easy. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. But in what ways did this experience connect you with the history and tradition of, the prophets and early Muslim travelers?
Well, yes, things start making more sense once you travel like this. For example, the shortening of the prayers, for example. If you do about 80 kilometers or 84 kilometers by car, it might take you an hour or so, or just about an hour. But you can shorten your prayers. However, when you travel 80 kilometers, it's about 2 days or 3, and then the need of shortening the prayers. So it does connect us back to the roots, the simplicity of life, and how the Prophet would have traveled, and why the shortening of prayer was important. Doing, for example, tayammum when the weather is cold outside, and you know that if you were to do wudu with cold water, you'll get sick. So we actually are able to experience our deen in a very profound way.
Alhamdulillah. It's so, like I said earlier on, it's just so inspirational just listening to you and, listening as to exactly what's happening on the journey. But what message or advice would you like to share with our audience, particularly men or young individuals who may be inspired by your journey?
Well, I would say to them, the first thing is to aim very high. Always aim very high. And know that if your intentions is pure, Allah is with you, and there's nothing impossible to Allah. There's nothing impossible. This trip, it is impossible. This trip is impossible because we don't have people don't travel like this anymore. In the past, there will be inns and places where people could sleep and the horses could be looked after. That doesn't exist anymore. And there's petrol stations now. And they have nothing for us. And traveling with horses is not like going on a bike. They're not machines or a motorbike. They're actual human. They're actual living creatures, and they have their needs. They get tired. They get hungry. They need to rest. You have to look after them. You need to be connected to the animal. So everything is very difficult. Also, border crossing, paperwork, documentation. Those things make this trip, as I say, almost impossible. But only by Allah's permission. It's happening as we speak.
Alhamdulillah. But I would like to know, maybe we get a little bit personal, inshallah, but how did your relationship, or how is your relationship with Allah and your faith evolved throughout this journey so far?
Well, I was thinking about it a few days ago. I was thinking how, in a way, Allah has made generations before us, and put our parents there for us to be here. And once we're here in this life, He also puts everything in front of you. He gives you your provision is guaranteed. He gives you knowledge. He gives you the care of your family, and everything is laid out for you. Everything is easy, and He puts Jannah at the end. He puts the paradise at the end for you to reach it. And the only obstacle is yourself. The only obstacle between you and the reality of the divine reality and the garden is you. So the same way, this trip, I've realized that Allah has made it very easy for us. Although it could have been impossible, the weather here where we are up now, about 1,300 meters altitude. At this time of the year, last year, there was a meter of snow. Today is quite sunny, warm. I'm wearing my shirt. Everything is laid out for us to be able to achieve it, but it's only us, our egos, that can actually block us from getting there.
Now, I know earlier on you spoke about challenges. So what are some of the biggest challenges you are currently facing, and how do you overcome them as a team?
To be honest, alhamdulillah wa shukrullah, it's been very easy. For what it could have been, it's been very easy. So we haven't had tremendous challenges. We haven't had any accident or severe accidents like that. But perhaps maybe the camaraderie, as I said earlier, having different opinions, wanting to do different things, that is probably the only thing that we have to polish. And the only way that we deal with it is with having an Amir, a person that decides at the end of the day, and we all know that, and we all accept it. So I think that is the way everything is working out for us.
Now, we all know that Hajj is, of course, a journey of a lifetime. Can you describe the emotional and spiritual significance of this journey to Hajj on horseback?
Well, yes, yes, it is. It's such a wonderful way of traveling, such a way, and traveling to Hajj, which is an obligation, and how our ancestors did this routinely. It wasn't an amazing thing. It was a normal thing that everyone did. So it has brought it back to the surface, the importance of simplicity in life, and aiming very high because Allah is always there to assist and to make it easy. So we trust fully in Allah that this journey can arrive at where we want, and we hope, inshallah, that everything goes well for us.
No, inshallah. To end off the interview for today, because I know you guys have to get back on, inshallah, but how do you hope your story will inspire others to pursue their own paths of self-discovery and spiritual growth?
Well, I think horse riding, for example, or this story, I mean, I would like people to know that there's nothing impossible out there, and if one could be an inspiration for all the Muslims, I'll be very, very humbled to acknowledge it. But I want to tell people that get out there, whatever the situation is. If you trust in Allah, anything can change, and you can achieve anything that you put. Any aim that you put for yourself is not difficult for Allah. So go ahead, do it. You have to sacrifice things. You have to be courageous and brave, but the rewards are there to be picked up.
Absolutely. Brother Abdelkader Harkassi, thank you so much. Harkassi, sorry. Thank you so much for joining us on the Feel Good Friday today. And hoping, inshallah, we'll get to connect with you at a later stage when you'll finally arrive, inshallah. And yeah, so do look after yourselves. Give your salams to all your friends and the individuals that are joining you on your journey. Assalamu alaikum.
Amen. Alaikum salam. Bye-bye. Thank you.
All right. Of course, it's 90.4 FM in Durban and 105.6 FM in Peter Maritzburg. I do know that our brother Abdel Harkassi had sent us a video, so inshallah, we'll be playing it for you. For those of you who have been watching us live, yes, it's 90.4 FM in Durban, and you guys saw all the behind the scenes as to exactly what's happening on their journey from Spain to Saudi Arabia, and their sole purpose is to go for Hajj. When Allah calls you, nobody can stop you. So if you're watching, you can watch this message from Brother Abdel Harkassi and his friends.
Thank you very much for inviting us to your show, Feel Good Friday. We're very honored to have been speaking to you. This is my team, Mohammed Misbahi and his horses, who's walking right now, and Sidi Abdullah. Assalamu alaikum.
Rahmatullah. Let's go for a short ad break, and inshallah when we come back we will be chatting to another inspirational individual, Sister Nazreen.
This is the Feel Good Friday with Bibi Amina Phili, only on your #1 radio station.
This segment is brought to you by Kenfield Auto, your RMI approved service and repair specialist. 236 Brickfield Road, Overport. Kenfield Auto.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربنا وجعلنا مسلمين لك ومن ذريتنا أمة مسلمة لك وأرنا مناسكنا وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم.
I won't stop.
Auto.
Due for a service.
Kenfield Auto. Kenfield Auto, the answer to all your car problems. Your service and repair specialist for your VW, Audi, Suzuki, Toyota, or just about any vehicle. Kenfield Auto, your RMI and insurance approved workshop to handle them all. 236 Brickfield Road, Overport. Call us on 031 207 2399. Kenfield Auto.
Exciting update. Our spring sale is extended until 10th November. Hurry and grab your favorites.
Shop in stores or online at va.junajamshades.com.
Terms and conditions apply.
Join me, Zora Khan, and other leading ladies at an exciting ladies-only Mahfil Naat program on the 10th of November at the Al Ansar Hall, 189 West Road, Overport. Time 2 to 5 p.m. Don't miss out on this opportunity and book your tickets at 150 Rand at the Al Ansar Bookshop or contact Zoha on 0633 079 237. See you there.
This is the Feel Good Friday with Bibi Amina Phili, only on your #1 radio station. Tune in to the Feel Good Friday with Bibi Amina Phili.
It's finally Friday again. Assalamu alaikum.
From South Africa to the world.
Let's go.
Don't miss out on Friday afternoon vibes like no other. Put it on and leave it on. Join us for inspiration and positivity from trailblazing guests. Topics you want to hear. Your Friday just got better. Let's make the end of the week better together. Feel Good Friday with Bibi Amina Phili, young, fresh and trending.
صلاة سلام على المصطفى رسول إمام بنور الصفا صلاة سلام على المصطفى.
Topic of the day.
And of course, it is 90.4 FM in Durban and 105.6 FM in Pietermaritzburg. And if you have just decided to join us, of course, it is the Feel Good Friday, the best show on Friday. You know it. Like we know it and we say it. Let's make the end of the week better together. But of course, like we spoke to Abdelkader Harkassi earlier on, and he spoke about his journey from Spain to Saudi Arabia, we have another fantastic individual that's in studio with us. Now, of course, today we venture into the heart of resilience as well as determination. We're joined by an individual, a beautiful sister that has just done it all. Now, of course, Nazreen Ally is a true inspiration of having overcome personal trauma and adversity to become a beacon of hope for women everywhere. As a rape survivor, empowerment coach, self-defense expert, fitness trainer, an aircraft maneuver, yes, an aircraft maneuver, Nazreen embodies the spirit of resilience and as well as determination. So joining us, join me indeed in welcoming Nazreen back to the show. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And welcome to the Feel Good Friday. How are you doing?
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Amina, it's such a pleasure to be back on the show.
Alhamdulillah.
And it's good to see you girls.
Alhamdulillah. It's good to see you as well. Alhamdulillah. So let's get straight into the topic for this particular afternoon. I know we're speaking about being a survivor and, talking about empowerment. And, thank you so much for, accepting my late invite, just by the way. I thought I'd just put it out there. But Sister Nazreen, your journey is truly remarkable. Can you share with us how you've transformed your pain into purpose and what drives your passion, for empowering others?
Amina, transformation, of course, came from knowing that after the incident had occurred to me, the traumatic incident as a child, I knew that I had a purpose. I knew that it wasn't, that I wasn't meant to be shackled by these fears and feelings of that one experiences when you violated. So, all of us have this inner, this voice that speaks out and says to you, hey, this is, this is not your purpose. Your purpose is not being depressed and being and suppressing yourself, and feeling ashamed. So at that time I was in school and I excelled academically. I was an A student and I excelled, alhamdulillah, and I excelled as a sports girl as well. I used to be a 100-meter sprinter, and I was like a few weeks away from receiving my Natal gold colors. So I was very active and very, I was this very bubbly child, high-spirited, high achiever. And I think when the incident occurred to me, I refused to let that hold me down, the feelings of being ashamed. So from there, I decided that I'm not taking this laying down. I'm going to push and persevere, and of course, and live for my purpose.
Absolutely. I think, as many people, individuals, we struggle to find our purpose. And, seeing how far you've come, it's absolutely remarkable. I know since then you've done so much. And like I mentioned, that you're now a fitness expert. Now, as self-defense expert that you are, what advice would you give women who want to feel more confident and prepared in their daily lives? I mean, we live in South Africa.
Yes,
It's sad that we have to speak about defending ourselves, even in our own homes. But,
absolutely,
give us advice on that.
All right. Amina, like we know, when we speak or when you hear the word self-defense, if I said to you self-defense, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Fighting, protecting.
Okay.
Defending.
So basically 99, but I don't want to, speak on behalf of lots of people, on other people. However, self-defense is not only of the physical aspect, it is also lots to do with the mental aspect. For instance, if you look at self-defense on the mental aspect, you would understand, like you said, we live in South Africa. Crime statistics are high. We're one of the high-ranking countries amongst the countries, high-ranking in with the crime statistics. So in this day and age, Amina, with everything happening, the drugs and the violence, and one haram leading to another, which is causing so much of tension, where you gotta, as an individual, you gotta take into consideration that you can go for classes, in the physical classes. And you could go and learn karate, you could go and do MMA, you could go and do self-defense, knife fighting, you can go and do learn how to use a firearm. However, the mental aspect is what is the most important part, because we live amongst, like we said, a high crime country. Where you put yourself today, the choices you make, that's why I say mental. The choices you make as to a woman, where do you go to? The places you go to, the decisions you make. It's all up to you. You can't now say, okay, I know how to use a knife. I know I'm going to a club today. I'm going to this and going to haram places and stuff. You're asking for trouble. So a lot has to do with the choices you make in life. Therefore, I say the mental aspect. And the other thing is, besides putting yourself in a situation, for instance, that part of it, you got to also take into consideration that, yes, we need to know and understand contingency plans as not only women, as men as well, because today we have men and women. We're all affected by violence. We're all affected by crime. So we need to have contingency plans in place. When I say contingency, that also comes with the mental aspect of learning, knowing how to apply yourself mentally if you are in a situation. If you're placed in a situation. So situational awareness is very important. Go for classes, educate yourself on situational awareness. And yes, then of course the physical side as well, in knowing how to, what to do in a situation, whether you're going to, be able, when to use a firearm, how to use a firearm, how to use a knife, unfortunately, sorry, these things are harsh, listening to it. But if you're an owner of a gun, you're not always going to be able to pull out your firearm. And also that goes back to the mental aspect where, okay, should I, shouldn't I, what should I do? Because there's a lot of detrimental repercussions. Do you understand? So the mental aspect is very important. Be aware in your surroundings. Don't go place yourself, go half naked, dressed in these things, in things that's revealing your body or whatever as a woman. I'm speaking on behalf of a woman, in places where there's bound to be trouble. You're bound for trouble. So that is why I say self-defense has a lot to do with not only the physical aspect, but the mental aspect. So Yes.
Absolutely.
One needs to be educated both mentally, the theoretical, and there's a lot of classes and stuff, but both marries.
Absolutely. Education is power. And obviously, like you mentioned earlier on, in South Africa, we have to defend ourselves. It's harsh. It's the harsh times we live in.
Absolutely.
But it's what we have to do. But
Yes.
Sister Nazreen, you're also a fitness trainer, which is, I would say, absolutely amazing. But how does physical strength and wellness intersect with emotional resilience and empowerment?
Okay, I would speak from my experience. So from my experience of undergoing lots of traumas from the time I was a child, right up until being a teenager. I had gotten into a deep depression because, remember, as a person, when trauma occurs, when trauma occurs to you, something happens. Your brain doesn't immediately, as a child, it doesn't immediately say to you, hey, no, this has happened, or you conscious about the incident. It kind of shuts you down. Your mind kind of protects you from the incident, and I think your brain shuts down completely to what has happened to you, and thereafter, mine had cropped up all the depression and flashbacks of incidents after I had my baby. So it was then where the depression and everything came in, and I had to deal with it from the age of 20, maybe 21, right up until the age of 32, where I had to be hospitalized several times. I had a team of doctors working with me, Dr. D.S. Patel, Junika Ramsuruj, and a few more, because of my state, the state I was in due to the flashbacks. However, they had taken me through the hospitalization. I refused to go on any antidepressants. I refused to take anything that was going to suppress my emotions or suppress what I was going through, because I also believed, listen, I grew up in a Muslim home. And I also believed a lot in Allah, because through my journey, I always held on to Allah. So I believed at that point that all I needed was to help myself in analyzing my anxiety attacks and dealing with it, and analyzing and dissecting what had happened to me, all the traumas, and speaking about it to my therapist. Hence, that cognitive therapy had played a huge role. However, fitness is something that everybody needs. Fitness, exercising is something that everybody needs, because remember, our brain gives off serotonin. Our brain gives off endorphins. Our brain gives off chemicals that is so necessary for us, to help us in everyday. Basically, it's our toolbox in a situation where there's trauma. Okay, we've got adrenaline that's given, and that's meant for that incident. Then feel happy, serotonin, endorphins. So those are the chemicals that are released when you train, when fitness, when you become active. So yes, fitness is so important. And also, at the age of 13, when the rape occurred to me, had occurred, sorry, I was at that time, like I said to you, I excelled in as a sports, woman.
Enthusiast.
And yes, 100-meter sprinter. So sports had always been in my blood. And I decided, when I recovered from my depression, to go right back into where I left off, which was sports. So I decided to do my diploma in exercise science, where I qualified as a sports conditioning coach. And I decided to do my first competition, astaghfirullah. I'm saying that because at that time I had done it, and I had won my competitions. However, that journey had taught me discipline, perseverance, and how to be consistent. And in gaining those, qualities, I was able to use those qualities like, for instance, apply it to my everyday life. You understand? As a Muslim woman, get up in the morning. It keeps you on time. Get up in the morning for your salah, and then you're getting ready. You're eating healthy. You're able to. Your brain's much more fresher, and you're more ambitious. So yes, keeping healthy and fit.
Is very important.
It's vital. It's vital. It plays a vital. As much as you can go to the doctor and go on medication, it's not going to help you because the truth is it's going to suppress it. And sorry, I'm not speaking as a doctor or giving any advice to stop your medication. I'm saying for me, that is what done it for me. And I firmly believe that Allah has given us shifa. Our body has the ability to heal itself.
Absolutely. Now I know that you speak of your experience so freely, and I feel it's so remarkable of you to but your experience as a rape survivor is deeply personal, yet you're willing to share your story to help others. So what message are you hoping to convey to those who may be struggling in silence?
Stand up and fight. Fight for your purpose. Fight for your barakah, for what Allah has blessed you with. And don't feel ashamed. Don't feel ashamed, with regards to what has happened to you. It's not your fault. The first thing you need to do is understand it is not your fault that you've been violated. You cannot hold yourself accountable for another person's behavior or lewd actions. A person can do that to you and, perhaps use your body, or you've been violated for their needs. However, nothing's been taken away from you. You still have what it takes to go forward and live life. Live life. Turn to Allah. Turn to Allah to grant you that comfort and ease to overcome what you're going through. And that's what I had done. And then take your steps in healing, on the outside, like fitness and learning your purpose. Don't allow yourself to be restricted by those the thoughts that go through your head. I feel ashamed of myself. I'm not worthy. I know, what would people think? No, stand up and fight. Because if you don't do it, you're just going to be there living your life miserable, and whatever Allah has destined for you, you're never going to get there. And each of us are unique individuals. These things happen to us. As harsh as I may come across, or whatever I'm about to say may come across as very harsh, but remember, we all have our own tests and trials. And yes, it may seem ugly, it may seem harsh, it may seem, oh my gosh, that was so bad. But Allah gives those tests. Allah puts us through those tests because He knows what's our purpose. He knows how we should, He knows how we're going to deal with it. And I feel that the best way to deal with it is to stand up and talk and help other people around. That is why I voice myself, because I know that there are women and men that are suffering in silence. And these could be future entrepreneurs, like children that are coming up. They could be future entrepreneurs. They could be leaders. You could take your story and help, even if you just help one person to understand that this is not their fault and that there's so much to live for. There's so much to achieve. It makes a huge difference. That is why I'm not ashamed to speak of my traumas and to speak, because I know what it done to me. It takes you, there's two, you come to a crossroad when this happens to you. You either go down the left, which is victim to perpetrator, and there's no return from that with most cases, or you either go to the right and you say, you say to yourself, yes, this has happened to me. However, I'm strong and I'm a survivor. I'm a victim to survivor, and stand tall.
Stand tall. You
Yes.
are indeed a survivor. But lastly, Sister Nazreen, what's next for you? Any exciting projects, any, amazing initiatives in the horizon that you'd like to share with our audience?
Of course. I'm now working on a project. As you know, I'm the director of Falcon Protection Services as well. And I am now putting together a project which is going to assist women, whereby it's going to assist them with life altogether in, daily life, be it from self-defense to that part being strong out there, to imaging, fitness, training, all of that. It's going to be one package, and it covers everything. It covers everything.
Absolutely.
I don't want to say too much.
Yeah. Well, they can follow you on social media, so they can check out and all the stuff, inshallah. Sister Nazreen, Jazakallah so much for coming through and joining me today. It's so good to have you on the show today.
Jazakallah khair for having me. It was a pleasure spending time with you girls. Again, it's been a while. And Jazakallah khair to the audience that has been listening. And shukran, my sister.
All right, shukran jazeelan. Well, of course, we have come to the end of yet another amazing edition of the Feel Good Friday. If you enjoyed that, of course, you can join it and find it on Spotify, YouTube, as well as Instagram, and you can watch it later. But from my side and the team, we'd like to say Assalamu alaikum.
This is the Feel Good Friday with Bibi Amina Phili, only on your #1 radio station.
The views and opinions expressed by